There is one issue that I am having with this current version of the Bloodline. And that problem is I don't know whether they're a heel or a babyface. It seems like they have just been kind of a tweener since they really brought back the full Bloodline. And what we saw in the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw, where we saw the Usos hand deliver Solo Sikoa to Roman Reigns, that at least felt like the Bloodline were the heels in that scenario. But other times, I'm genuinely confused on what they are. And I feel like it's kind of hurting them, at least in my eyes, because I'm not taking them as serious as I did in the first run of the Bloodline. And that is what we're going to be talking about in this video today. We are going to be talking about the Bloodline and the current version of the Bloodline and discussing whether or not they're heels or baby faces, and then we're going to take a look back at the original version of the Bloodline and see why that version feels so much more different and why it worked in the first place. But real quickly, before we get too far ahead in the video, I want to say that if you are a WWE fan, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. That is all we post is WWE related content. So if you are a WWE fan, again, consider subscribing. It's free. You can always change your mind later. So let's start off with the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns. Is Roman a heel or a babyface? There's been reports coming out that WWE sees him and has him listed as a heel. But I would kind of push back on that a little bit because the guy isn't really getting booed at all when he's making his entrances or anything like that. Roman Reigns is still getting these babyface level pops that WWE simply does not have with any of the other babyfaces, including a guy like Cody Rhodes. But again, in the eyes of WWE, Roman is a heel. They have him listed apparently as a heel. Moving on to the Usos, and are the Usos heel or baby faces? I have no idea because sometimes Jey Uso does his own entrance and his usual main event Jey Uso yeet entrance where he comes yeet into the ring. That's a very babyface entrance. Usually when it's the Usos that come out together, they have that theme song that is more about both of them. But even still, that kind of sounds like a babyface theme song to me. But we've still got Jey Uso running around yeeting all over the place. We've still got him using catchphrases like, "This is your warning shot," and all that stuff. That's very babyface stuff. And whether WWE cares to admit it or not, the whole warning shot catchphrase is starting to catch on. And then you have Jacob Fatu. And look, I don't care what WWE tries to do with Jacob Fatu. I don't think you're ever going to get people to boo him, at least in the immediate future. And look, we've seen Jacob Fatu as a heel. Remember, he came in to the WWE as a heel. But something to also remember about that is that heel run didn't last very long because people didn't want to boo the guy because Jacob Fatu is that dang good, that dang entertaining at what he does. Simply put, Jacob Fatu is just too freaking cool to boo. So unless they have him do something downright despicable, I don't think there's a chance that Jacob's going to get booed anytime soon. So looking at the Bloodline as a whole, currently right now as it sits, I don't think they're heels at all. Nothing about them screams like they're the bad guy. Again, you've got Roman, who is in WWE's eyes a heel, but again, the guy is still getting the loudest pops of the WWE roster. The Usos are still yeeting around the place, having a grand old time of things. I'm not treating them like the Uso Penitentiary Usos anymore. And again, Jacob Fatu is simply just too freaking cool to boot. So I don't see them as heels, and I think that's a problem. Because I think WWE is trying to make them into heels, but I just don't think they're doing that good of a job at it right now. Now, I will say, the recent segment between the Bloodline and Solo Sikoa on Monday Night Raw, that was the first time that the Bloodline actually felt like heels. Roman once again felt like the top heel of the company, delivering that promo and all that. Roman felt like he was a heel. The Usos started to feel more like heels. Jacob Fatu kind of felt more like a heel when he started attacking Solo Sikoa, but even then we had Roman tell Jacob to back off, and Jacob just stood there in the corner of the ring, watched the Bloodline beat down Solo Sikoa, and then he watched Solo beat down the Bloodline. which is again a very babyface thing to do for a guy like Jacob Fatu, which can be a good thing or a bad thing because if you wanted to have him heel, stripping Jacob of all the things that make him cool and make him a badass would be one way to do it. But this segment felt like we were heading in the right direction with them. This was the first Bloodline segment in an extremely long time that I saw the word being thrown around cinema. This segment rocked. It was an extremely good segment, and I think it was because the Bloodline felt like they were the clear heels in this story, in this segment. So obviously, I would like to see more of that type of Bloodline stuff moving forward to see if they actually are the heels or not in this story. So let's move on to talking about what can be done for the Bloodline to fully be back as heels. And to do that, I think we need to go back a little bit to the original version of the Bloodline and figure out why they worked as heels. Starting off with Roman Reigns. Obviously, you had him winning absolutely everything. The man was on a championship reign that WWE has not seen in an extremely long time, rising amongst the ranks with guys like Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino. And it wasn't just the fact that Roman was on this massively long title run, it wasn't the fact that he was carrying both titles, it was also how he was winning. Oftentimes, having the Usos and the rest of the Bloodline coming in, interfering in the matches, helping him win, all for Roman to take all the credit himself. That was a very good way of getting people to hate Roman Reigns. The first example that comes to my mind when I think of the Bloodline helping Roman win is when he beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam when Brock Lesnar came to the ring with a frickin' tractor. It took the Usos to legitimately bury Brock Lesnar under the rubble of the announce table to get Roman Reigns the win. And he would also just win in these ridiculously goofy ways, like when he beat the Demon Finn Balor when Finn went to hit the coup de grace and the rope snapped on him. It was stuff like that that made people hate Roman Reigns. But if we want to take a look at Roman Reigns now, all that stuff is gone. Roman Reigns is won by himself with no interference from the Bloodline. And Roman technically isn't even holding the top title in the WWE right now. He's carrying the World Heavyweight Championship, a championship that Roman Reigns once called the secondary championship. To absolutely no one's surprise, I don't think he's acknowledged that at all. So what can the WWE and the Bloodline do to make them into the heels that they once were? The only thing that would really come to my mind, and it's a super risky choice if WWE decides to go down this path, but that is holding down other talent, other baby faces. Names like Solo Sikoa, names like LA Knight, even Obafemi you could throw into that mix. One way to get people to start hating the Bloodline again is to keep those names down. Specifically, a guy like Obafemi, who people want to see going up against Roman Reigns, a guy who literally just won King of the Ring and hasn't even come close to Roman Reigns since winning the thing. Now, doing this again is, in my mind, incredibly risky because on one hand, yeah, there is a good chance that you would get people to absolutely despise the Bloodline, but also, you would risk hurting names like Solo and LA Knight and especially Obafemi, a guy who WWE doesn't want to hurt anytime soon. But on the flip side, we could see a scenario in which that crop of guys become even bigger baby faces out of this if they do elect to go down this route. One of them finally being able to conquer the Bloodline. Look at what it did for Cody Rhodes. Now, looking back on it, really didn't mean a whole lot, and it kind of undermined Cody's entire arc there because the Bloodline just came right back together anyway and are kind of right back to where they were. And outside of that, I honestly have no idea what WWE could do to get the fans to start turning on the Bloodline and start hating them again. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts on this topic. Do you think the Bloodline are heels or not? If you think they do, let me know why. If you think they don't, let me know why, and also let me know what you would do to get people to start hating the Bloodline again. As always, don't forget to leave all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments section, and while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That is the only link in the description for a reason. That is because it will take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel. I do strongly suggest going and checking out our X page besides YouTube. I'm most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. We are also over on Instagram and TikTok as well. Over there, you can sometimes expect clips from these videos, more or less nowadays because I've just been super busy with stuff that is out of my control. I only have time to really post on there when I do upload a video on here to YouTube. But regardless, if you enjoy these videos and you're looking for some extra content, again, Linktree link in the description. It'll take you to wherever you want to go. So with all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Again, both are free, both really help out the channel a lot. And of course, if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here because it genuinely does mean the world to me. As always, stay tuned for more WWE content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.